Good morning, afternoon, evening, gamers. So, just whilst I try to get the, just make sure that the sound is correct, try and make sure that that is good. I'm just going to show you like a little experience. Now I know some of the experiences have kind of coloured the waters a little bit in terms of VR, because in the beginning there were a lot of people thought of VR as just being gimmicky with just kind of these little experiences, but some of them are really good. I think so anyway. It's up to you to determine. So this one is called Nefertiti, Journey to something or other. So we're going to click on this one, and I have something fairly rare according to doctors. I have something called porphyria, so I don't really tend to do too well in sunlight. So I would never be able to go to Egypt to see the pyramids, which I would ideally love to do. So this is probably for me going to be the next best thing. It seems a little too loud now. Before, I don't think it was quite loud enough.
We are about to enter the largest and most beautiful tomb in all of ancient Egypt. It is home to the soul and spirit of Queen Nefertari, wife of Ramses the Great from Egypt's 19th dynasty. Her tomb houses 7 chambers. Nearly every surface was decorated with vibrant colours. Even the ceiling is illuminated with stars representing the heavens. Queen Nefertari, unlike most queens, participated in civil and government matters, and her ability to read and write made her one of the most gifted queens in ancient Egyptian history. With one of the most decorative tombs, it is clear to see that she was made a living goddess during her lifetime. The walls are illustrated with scriptures from the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, ensuring the queen's safe passage to the afterlife. Although he is not pictured, Ramses the Great's love for the queen shines throughout her tomb with poetry engraved into walls of this beautiful sacred place.
Oh, that's nice.
Upon discovery of this hidden wonder, her sarcophagus and mummy were stolen along with other artifacts in the tomb. Even though her tomb is empty, it remains as one of the essential windows into the ancient past. As you explore through the tomb, you will encounter multiple paintings which offer additional information about the tomb and its inhabitants. Press the trigger on your left controller when the glowing grid appears around a painting to learn more about the gods and goddesses who guided the queen on her journey to the afterlife.
See, this is really cool. I wouldn't be able to, as I said, I wouldn't be able to come here and just be the heat and the sun would be too much. So I can't remember how to is it? I see. Yep, cool. How do I turn? I suppose it just
This vulture is a manifestation of the goddess Nekhbet. She is the goddess of Upper Egypt or Southern Egypt. In each one of her claws, she is holding a Shen symbol, a ring that symbolizes eternity and protection.
Cool. That's cool. Okay. Oh, who's this lady? Is that Nefertiti?
This vulture is a manifestation of the goddess Nekhbet.
I wasn't looking at
She
that.
is the goddess of Upper Egypt or Southern Egypt. In each one of her claws, she is holding a Shen symbol, a ring that symbolizes eternity and protection.
Okay. Wasn't actually looking at her, but, okay. What about this lady? Okay. I'm guessing you can only click on certain things. Fair enough.
This vulture is a manifestation of the goddess Nekhbet. She is the goddess of Upper Egypt or Southern
Wow.
Egypt. In each one of her claws, she is holding a Shen symbol, a ring that symbolizes eternity and protection.
Alrighty then. So I mean, as you can see, it's not perfect. Yeah.
The seated figure is Osiris, the god of the dead and king of the underworld. His green skin represents fertility and rebirth. He wears a tight white garment representing mummification, and he's holding the crook and flail, which are symbols of kingship and leadership.
Oh, okay. Not sure what green skin has to do with fertility, but alright, fair enough. Who am I to argue? Oh, what? I think that's a guy that. Oh no, maybe not. I thought that was the Jekyll. You know, I think he's like to do with the underworld.
Thoth has the head of an ibis bird and is the god of writing and wisdom. The small frogs have many meanings in Egyptian mythology and are associated with rebirth and magic.
Oh, okay. So frogs are magical. I always kind of like the little the little colourful ones. Though you touch those things, you're pretty dead. They're really poisonous. What? The movement's a little bit not great, but then I don't think they had like snap turning and things like that when they made this. And also as well, this was made using very, very expensive, really high quality cameras, and they mapped the entirety of her tomb. I find it odd as well that like somebody stole her body. I mean, really? Stealing somebody's body seems a bit, not cool.
Here stands the god Ptah. He is an ancient god of creation, crafts, and the arts. Perhaps that is why Nefertari, pictured on the left, is presenting him with trays of linen, a highly skilled crafted good. Ptah is recognizable by his green skin, tight white robe, and fitted cap.
They seem to like the green skin. The Hulk would be right at home here. And just to be clear, I am joking. So anybody getting upset, I'm just joking. So I'm gonna have to turn, I'm afraid, from the camera, but the turning isn't particularly good, I'm afraid.
The figure in the middle has a ram's head and is tightly mummified in white cloth. This is both a representation of the sun god Re and the god of the dead, Osiris. To his left is the goddess Nephthys, and to his right is the goddess Isis. They are associated with mummification, and that is why they are shown with this mummified god in Nefertari's tomb.
Ah, okay, cool. I've certainly heard of some of these gods. I think that might be Nefertiti there. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn round again, I'm afraid. Something to do with
These
animals?
heavenly animals are associated with the sun god Ra and can provide the deceased queen with food in the afterlife. Each cow is named separately. For example, the red cow in the lower register is called the greatly beloved red of hair, and the bull is called the bull, male of the herd, who dwells in the red castle.
Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm gonna turn round again, because, having my back to you is not a cool thing to do. Let's go down. I mean, you got to admit that this is very, very cool. And to be honest, if history had have been like this, I mean, I'm a lot more into history than I was. When I was at school, I wasn't as into it. But you imagine young people if they could learn history like this. I mean, I think people would be much more into it. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah. Oh, there's something up here. I think
The goddess in this painting is Neith. She is an ancient creator goddess, identified by her headdress, which is 2 bows and a shield. Neith was both a patron goddess of war and hunting, as well as the creative practice of weaving. Her ancient cult center was in the Delta in Lower Egypt. Ramesses II's family is thought to have come from Lower Egypt.
Oh, that's cool. Lots of gods and goddesses as well, which is nice. People are always spinning this tale about, women being put down and such. But it seems to be in this scenario that, there were gods and goddesses which were highly, highly respected. Oh, I think this is I can't remember his name.
The painting on the lintel shows a beautiful image of the goddess Ma'at. She is spreading her protective wings over the entrance to the Queen's burial chamber. Ma'at was the goddess of truth, justice and order. Ma'at is usually identifiable by the feather she wears on her head.
Oh, okay. I thought that would be Osiris. Lady Osiris, to be fair, but okay. Ooh.
The painting on the lintel shows a beautiful image of the goddess Ma'at. She is spreading her protective wings over the entrance to the Queen's burial chamber. Ma'at was the goddess of truth, justice and order. Ma'at is usually identifiable by the feather she wears on her head.
Okay, I wanted to see this guy, but I don't know. Is it just going to do her again, or? I think, though, that is the god of the underworld. He's got like the head of a jackal, or a dog. I think a jackal is a dog. It's probably going to show that lady again.
The seated black dog is the jackal god Anubis. Anubis is the god of mummification, and he protects the deceased as they pass into the underworld.
In was it Percy Jackson? No, it wasn't Percy Jackson. What was the books? The red pyramid. Oh, some Carter Canes. The Carter Canes by Rick Riordan. I read those books, far too short of a series when Percy Jackson was a huge amount of books. But yeah, in the Carter Canes, I can't remember their names. Was it Sadie and Sadie Kane? But yeah, in the Canes, they got to meet Anubis, and he was, according to, I think her name was Sadie Kane, a good-looking, young sort of teenage boy. So I don't know why that sticks out in my memory, but yeah, it kind of does. Oh, look at this. This is cool. I mean, I really like this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love video games as well, but I like when experiences are done well and they're interesting. I think they can be. I think they can be very, very valuable. But I suppose it's they're not for everybody. And the problem is that there have been some really really terrible ones. Oh, I can click on him.
This is Osiris, the god of the dead and king of the underworld. Here he is standing in a shrine with a roof. We know that it is Osiris because of the hieroglyphic inscription, but also because of his associated symbols. One of his most important symbols is his white crown with 2 feathers.
I think the Egyptian gods had similar crowns as well. I thought Anubis was actually the king of the underworld, but I guess not. And this is why, obviously, that there are. I'm kind of into Egyptology. I love the mythology of this great, this amazing civilization. I mean, they built things that, frankly, we can't even build to. Oh, there's nothing in there. That may have been where her. I don't know if that's where her sarcophagus would have been. I don't know. A lot of it's obviously quite damaged with time, but I mean the fact that a fair amount of it has survived is quite impressive. I wonder how much of our architecture will survive into the next few hundred years, if we make it that far, I guess. I don't know if there's anything else to click on. I clicked on that one. That's basically the same god. Can you click? Oh, there's something there. Yep.
This is the guardian of the 5th portal to the underworld. This guardian is represented as a child holding 2 knives across its chest.
Ah, okay. Any reason why knives and why represented as a child? I guess not. Also, I think, knives and children, doesn't seem a good idea, really. I mean, I'm not going to say I was the best parent ever, but I did try to keep my son away from dangerous pointy things. I don't know if there's anything in there. No, better go back out. No, sorry, I keep doing that. I figured there might be something in there. You never know. Oh, another.
This is a version of the falcon god Horus, who is the son of Isis and Osiris. Here he is called Horus Lunmutef, or Horus the pillar of his mother. This figure's clothes tell us of his role in Nefertari's tomb. Here he is dressed in a leopard garment, the ceremonial dress of a priest performing rituals.
I see. So there are a lot of gods and goddesses and guardians and like people that work for the gods. Yeah, it's a fascinating thing. Apparently as well, because I mean also I've read like all the Percy Jackson books, which whilst entertaining you, Rick Riordan, who I believe was a teacher in his own right, may well still be teaching. I don't know. Although writing all the books that he does, maybe not. Oh, there's a little thing there. I can't really see it properly though. That's cool though. Probably who made the experience. Yeah, as I liked the fact that as well as giving you this adventure series with Percy and Annabeth, he also would slip in like little facts and little bits and pieces. So he was kind of teaching you whilst taking you on this adventure at the same time, and I really really liked that. I really like the to be honest, I don't think there's anything that Rick Riordan hasn't written that I didn't enjoy. So yeah, I just think the only slight criticism I would say for me personally, and I don't know how the writing process goes. I don't, there's a lot of different sides to this, to my criticism, but It's not even a criticism, really. I would have liked some of his adventures to be, longer. The Egyptian series with the Carter Canes, that seemed to be quite a short set of books. And the other favourite books I really liked, which went on the Norse gods, which was what was the guy's name? It was also a character in the Shadowhunter series, which I also really enjoy, by Cassie Clare, or Cassandra Clare, but a lot of people call her Cassie. Probably not. Probably I shouldn't, because I don't actually know the lady. But what was I nearly had it. Bane, Magnus. There was a series with the main character, the main protagonist, called Magnus. I can't remember his last name, and that was a really, really good series as well. I think it was like Magnus and the Sword of Summer, and they were some really good books, but again, really short. I think it was maybe 3 books. I think I could be wrong. So can we go backwards? Obviously, I'm going backwards up the stairs, but I don't recommend you do that. But yeah. So I think that is mostly it, to be honest. But not a very long experience, but just enough to give you a little bit of information and to feel that you're really inside a piece of history. I think it's incredible. I really, really like it. I hope you do too. And thank you very, very much for following me on this journey. This was just to kind of see if I could record VR. VR is a lot more. It's quite a bit more complicated than normally recording videos. There are a lot more things that can go wrong. There's a lot more processing power. Obviously, as well, the internet has to be, running really well, because otherwise the videos can be very juddery, and that's not good, particularly for you viewing the video. I have no wish to make anybody sick. So yeah, it is a little bit more involved, and also as well, Oculus's software can be at times it will stop responding, or it won't do something, and that can be quite frustrating as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to have to come out of this. Well, that wasn't what I had planned. So we're just going to click on this, and I'm going to leave it there. So thank you very, very much for watching, and be well, be safe. I don't believe with the world's problems we're quite out of the woods yet. I'm hoping it's getting better. I'm certainly I try to be a silver lining kind of person, which isn't always easy. But hopefully we're gonna be out of the woods soon. So be safe, be well, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.